Okay, welcome back. So we're going to be looking at cluster porosity near the outside surface. And let's have a look at this with fast. And it really doesn't show up at all with the setback scan, but in close, jammed right up against the weld crown. Then when we go by it, it's just a short little thing, and that's it right there. I think the direct L wave indications are right in here, and the rest are mode converted signals. Let's try that from the other side. Again, it doesn't look like much right there, but that's a sign that it's cluster porosity as well. Alright, let's look at this with some shear wave. Alright, here's our 70-degree shear. Let's go ahead and check this. 1 is near 1, 2 is near 2, 3 is near 3, 4 is near 4. That's about 50% screen height. Reference dB. And let's go in for a close-in scan. And this is also a 70-degree. So this noise over here, this is everywhere. So I have to kind of ignore that. But this indication here, this comes up only when I'm on the indication. And that really is looking like cluster porosity, because as I orbit around that and go by it, the peak moves around a lot because there's all those little pores in it. Let's try that from the other side. Nothing, 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 and there it is, and there it is, and there it is, and there it is. And that's with no additional gain added. Alright, let's try this. This was 70, let's try this with a 60. Okay, so here we are with our 60. Now let's go by this. I don't see anything. Not on the mark, so I want to see something when I go by it. Not much there. Let's try the other side. I'm up close to the weld, back a little bit. Okay. There it is, right? Let's see here. Alright, this is pretty difficult. I'm going to have to add some dB in here, which normally I almost never do. Let's go +6 and +6 again, because that really wasn't very loud. But when I'm going by this yellow mark, which that's where I know the indication is, where I see it is right in here. And that's got a lot of little indications to it. Again, that's like cluster porosity. Alright, 70, 60. Let's try this with the 45. Alright, here we are with our 45. I want to see something where it changes when I go by it. And when I go by the spot where my yellow mark is, this is what I see over here. That's the indication that coincides with that. Let's try that from the other side. Yeah. This is a ½ inch thick, so at 5 that's the ID and at 10 that's the OD. So it's just below the surface. And I think this is a case where it'll look better if I do add a little bit of gain, which normally I never do. Let's go +6. And we'll go by that again. And that does look like a lot of little indications together, as cluster porosity would be. Let's try that from this other side again. So that is it. Not very dramatic, but it's typical of cluster porosity because it has a lot of little indications bunched up close together. Okay, let's do some indication plotting. And I've gotten rid of the X value, so we're just measuring sound path, surface distance from the index point, and depth. There's no X value in there, and I went ahead and put in a thickness of a 1/2 inch. And let's reacquire the indication. It's right about there, but I got to be back a little bit to maximize it, and that's it, right about there. So let's freeze that, and let's go ahead and measure with our scale how far back the index point is from the edge of the weld. And I'm measuring 550. Alright, here we are with our T and C, our thickness and contour. We're going to use this to do our indication plotting. And we just said that the index point was 550 thousandths from the weld toe. So let's mark that, 550 thousandths. So that's the index point of the transducer. And then we made a plotting tool here some time ago for use with this. And our surface distance is going to be 0.819. So our surface distance is going to be to here. And our depth is going to be 0.181 from this surface. So our depth is going to be around here. And let's see how it plots up with an angle here. So our sound path distance is 1.159. And let's see, if we start from here, this is our 45 line. Let's see, 250, 500, that gets us to about 0.6. 0.6 inches to here. And then we're going to turn it around. I want this line and this line to be parallel. And I'm going to put this right back on about 0.6 deep. And we want to end up at 1.159. Let's call that 1.16. 1.25, 1.16. So that's right about there. So that all adds up. But there was porosity all around that point. So that's going to be our indication plotting of cluster porosity. And we're going to say that that's 0.181. From here to here is 0.181. All right. Okay, thanks a lot.